Library card. I thought this felt.
Oh, yeah.
It's Shannon from Lost. And then Midsummer.
They're just not a beachy thing, but it is a plane crash, so it works.
Didn't know. I thought it was a beachy thing. And so I was like, oh, this is... It's nice because it's different and unnerving.
Well, the Wilds is on like an island.
I think that's what I did.
Yeah.
Because frankly, we've heard good things about Wilds. We should probably be covering that as well. I don't know. Watch the space.
I want to before season 2 comes out. I think we're going to. I'm gonna make an executive decision.
I'm fine. I just am still angry about society.
Well, the Wilds is Amazon.
I know, but it's like these shows are doing similar things, and I'm like, so. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching This Show, your new favorite pop culture YouTube channel where we talk about movies, TV, music, and more. As always, this is a spoiler show, but we're doing this show episodically, so we will be spoiling it as the episodes go.
Yep.
We're late to this party, but we are going to watch and I think cover season 1 of Yellowjackets.
Yep.
We've got, I think there's 2 episodes still to air, so we're going to try and catch up, certainly to get the finale live. But we're just going to talk about it as we watch it and see where we go. We were intrigued. We heard things. We saw things. We just were like, what the fuck? Let's do it. I am
very intrigued.
I am intrigued. I'm interested. I am frustrated.
Okay.
Because I don't think I love, and this is not an indictment of the show or the quality of the show, but I don't think I like the mentality that we're going to be dealing with.
Sure.
I'm more of a kumbaya, like.
Which I feel like if we do the Wilds, that's what you'll get from the Wilds. I tend to agree a little bit because this feels sort of like Lord of the Flies with girls in a way.
Which is a take.
It is a take. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I feel like there might be something more sinister in play as well.
Yeah, like I don't think that there is a supernatural element, but you get that sinking dread watching it. So the basic premise, it takes place in 1996 and 2021, and it's about it's a private school or just a school?
I think it's just a school, but they have a really good girls soccer team.
A high school girls soccer team that is going to nationals. Great commentary there because the local town only cares about the boys' sports, even though
apparently the boys' baseball team has like lost consistently, and they get a billboard or like a thing on the marquee outside a restaurant.
Well, our football team was terrible, and our cheerleaders were like state champions and stuff. It was sort of like
no one ever thought anything about the swim team, and we won all the time.
But so we are checking in with the girls in 1996 before they leave for nationals, I guess is what they're calling it. And
because they've already won the state championship.
Mm-hmm. And then it is in modern day 2021 after time. That's another thing. For some
25
reason,
years. Yeah.
I guess I wasn't because so on their way to nationals, their plane goes down, and I think they are missing for 19 months.
That's what it said.
If you want to know how I feel about that, check out our American Horror Story Apocalypse coverage. It's a long amount of time.
That's almost 2 years.
It is a long amount of time. You can go properly crazy in that amount of time.
100%.
So that's a little bit more because it does clearly, based on the flashback or the stranded scenes, it does seem like they have structure to whatever has happened to them. So I am curious to see what it is. Like I was saying before we sat down, I was like, it looks like they've put thought and creativity. There's like regalia and stuff. So I am curious. The other thing that I'm curious about is if any of the men survived.
So I accidentally saw one picture, and one of the men survives for at least a little while. Yeah. Because there's a man and then 3 boys, I think.
And I'm very curious to see what that's going to do.
Maybe two men. There's 2 coaches, 2 male coaches.
And 3 teenage.
And 2 or 3 teenage boys.
And that is very interesting to me. And
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, no, they don't survive.
Well, what we saw in this episode was, I would say, about 8 or 9 cloaked figures doing a ritual.
I can just...
That doesn't... I mean, were you assuming that's all that's...
Left?
Yeah. Okay.
I also just cannot imagine either of the adult male coaches surviving and allowing this to happen.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, like, if the plane crash doesn't get him, I think Misty might.
So we're sort of, like, bouncing back and forth to, like, where they were at this point in their lives before the crash, and then where they are now. And it appears that, like I said, they were missing for 19 months. They were rescued. They made some pact that they would only talk about bare bones stuff. And every so often, you know, a reporter comes out of the woodworks trying to...
There's a new one this time, and I already lost her name. The lady who's come around, who's, like, trying to get Shauna, who is Melanie Linsky, to talk.
I'm only here for the food.
And so that was the part that, like, she thought it was different enough that she called Thaisa to be like, hey, you need to handle this. This is weird.
One of my very first notes is how good the casting is between the young and the old girls. It's
really good.
Pretty easy to tell who's who.
Yeah.
And, you know, jumping into an ensemble show like this can be difficult.
Yeah, especially when you have then 2 totally separate ensembles.
Yeah. And it's beneficial that the Melanie Linsky, Juliette Lewis, Christina Ricci is beneficial.
Also, I know Ella Purnell and Jasmine Savoy Brown and Sophie Nalis from other stuff, and they are young Jackie, Thaisa, and Shauna, respectively.
So we do...
I just also do know the one coach, Steven Kruger, because he was on the originals.
So we open with a scared girl, and she's fleeing?
Yeah, sprinting through the woods. She's crying and screaming, and she's only in a nightgown, so...
And they're taunting her, it seems like.
They're making real hyena noises. They're doing a real hyena noise thing.
And she falls into a pit of wooden spikes and kills her, and then
You should hope instantly. Let's hope she died instantly.
This is where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this because I have no patience for this kind of bullshit.
Well, maybe it was like a just punishment somehow. We don't know.
No, I know.
We also don't know how long this clearly it was taking place, like at least like 8 months if they're going to stay.
Yeah. So I want to take back the whole I have no patience for it, because I could have patience for it if given how we explore the material.
Sure.
And if we actually do, like, if it's thoughtfully handled.
Yeah.
But once again, it's like, that's not my.
Well, the nihilism is not your cup of tea. I guess we'll see. We'll see if this is like.
And so they string her up.
Yeah, like a thing.
And presumably cook and eat her.
Yeah.
That's pretty blatantly what happened.
Well, they for sure slit her throat, like they're bleeding her like a deer.
And so we have adult Shauna, we have adult Natalie, we have adult
Thaisa, and Misty. So far, that's it.
But we don't have adult of the others. It seemed like, I think the girl that they killed, was it not? I guess her name was Lottie in the pink.
I think so. Maybe.
Okay, I thought it was Lottie. I thought that looked like her. She was like in a pink ensemble at like the party.
Yeah, but she was just wearing like a slip at that point when she was running through the woods.
Yeah. But she just had long dark hair, and
a couple of them have long dark hair.
So, and we do have confirmation that Misty is one of the ones participating in this, because we see her take off her like hood and all that.
And she's just the ball girl. She doesn't actually, or like the towel girl or whatever, like, I don't know.
Like an assistant coach,
team
whatever.
Manager or something like that. She doesn't actually play. The rest of them all play. Oh, but we also got Thaisa is cold-blooded. There's a girl, a freshman, who apparently choked at state, and Thaisa wants to ice her out, and the rest of them are like, that doesn't feel right. I think we should play like a team and just like make it happen. And during a scrimmage with the JV team, I think she was just trying to get her like ankle twisted or something. So
she was trying to hurt her. She can claim she wasn't, but she was.
She was trying to hurt her, but I don't think she was trying to have her tibia come through her kneecap. So,
which fucking Misty's the one that tried to apply pressure
And now she's a nurse.
And now she's
well, she's a nurse who's really not. She's doing the bare minimum because she was like, maybe I'll take your morphine away.
Okay,
from her patient.
That old lady was begging.
That old lady was begging for it, but
I don't know. My alliances. As much as I claim that I'm kumbaya, I can get ruthless real quick. So we really spend a lot of time with Shauna and Jackie. They're kind of like
they seem like they're besties,
best friends, but also maybe frenemies type thing.
Well, Shauna's for sure having sex with Jackie's boyfriend.
Yeah, he seems
like an idiot.
Yeah, well, he seems like he means well, but I don't know.
The ones that are that good looking and mean well are the worst.
But Shauna kind of seems like the worst. I don't know. Well, I was on her side challenging Ty, so
yeah.
But then weirdly, when we meet her as an adult, she's in her daughter's room.
Yeah.
Masturbating to her daughter's boyfriend.
I think part of it is that
was that what was happening?
I think so.
Okay.
I think the deal with her is, I think what I've gleaned so far is the deal from her is that she literally had her entire life ahead of her. But the lady said she had a full ride to Brown. She had all of this stuff. We even see her open her Brown letter, and it literally ruined her life because and Thaisa is like going against this agreement because they said no public eye. Like she could have still been something.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brown probably would have still let her in.
Yeah, I don't think I like Thaisa.
No, I think Thaisa might have the antlers. But that's the thing is I think she basically looking at her daughter's boyfriend is sort of like being able to go back in time and being like when it was for me. I'm
one of these people who I think some of these things are a little bit more nuanced than people like to think, but because weirdly it's the laying on her daughter's bed that I was like, ugh.
No, it's bad. It's bad.
I was like, that's not Melanie Lynskey.
No, it's bad. I just can psychologically get where it's coming
especially
from.
To go through trauma at that place, be stunted in that place, and I don't know. It is. I feel like that's a moment that's gotten brushed over, even though I haven't really participated in a lot of discourse. I'm sort of like, I want to make sure that we talk about that, though. I want to make sure that that's actually
that needs to have a button
that doesn't just get swept away.
Yeah.
I kind of love Juliette Lewis, and I don't know where it came from.
She's great.
I just sort of, when she showed up, I was like, yes.
So she's just Natalie is just getting out of rehab. And in the past, we see her doing like acid and like drinking and tripping balls and stuff. So she's just getting out of rehab and she decides to catch a red eye from LAX to go back to some storage unit she's been paying on for like years and years and years to put a gun in the trunk of a car and then go stalk Misty. So we'll see. And seemingly Natalie is the only one that Thaisa and Shauna like know where she is. That like, because Shauna's like no word from anyone else, and she goes, I haven't heard from them in months. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting how much they scattered. I think that's one of the more interesting.
Well, because they even said that the whole part of the deal was to disappear.
Yeah,
and then we have Laura Lee, who is
real Jesus-y.
The most. Yeah. Although I'm kind of stoked to see what we get from her.
I think she's gonna be a real piggy is the thing.
I
from Lord of the Flies, not like a pig person, from Lord of the Flies.
I understand that. Okay. I could see her going more ruthless.
I would love that. I'm just not 100% sure. So we'll have to see.
To compare it again to Society, I don't think we're dealing with a Helena where she's going to be like weirdly I don't think she's going to pull through for us the way Helena did.
Sure, yes.
Remember Helena ended up being amazing?
Yeah.
And we were like, she's going to suck. And it was like, oh no, she's actually
she ended up being like a lawyer.
Yeah, she was actually really great. And no.
Yeah.
It would be funnier to me if Laura Lee's faith that is so visible and so much her thing, if that really just went right out the window.
Yeah, or if she went real Old Testament with it. Yeah. We'll see.
So I'm very curious to see what happens with Laura Lee, and I'm curious to see what happens with Jackie. Do we know? I guess we just don't know if she's alive or not. Is she... She's clearly the popular girl. She's Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah.
They called her Kelly Kapowski.
And she's the captain of the team.
Is she like a good guy? Is she terrible? Is she a combination of the two?
I think she's mostly good.
Mean girl, good guy, mean girl.
I don't think she hasn't shown any mean girl like instincts yet. So
I mean, that girl, even on their best days, are going to be a little bit like
but nothing. There's been nothing overt to me, so I think she's mostly fine. I mean, I guess we'll find out.
And then Allie was the freshman girl. Did she make it on the?
Oh, she has a compound fracture. She's not on the plane. And then Vanessa, who's played by one of our faves, Liv Hewson from Santa Clarita Diet, R.I.P. as well.
So I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like I said, in spite of some of my language, I am enjoying and want to keep watching the show. But I'm saying it's making me uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm
anxious. It's making me like, ooh.
Yeah.
Rachel was like weirdly stoked about it. She was like, let's do it. And then it starts and she was like, I made a huge mistake.
We might not keep Rachel for the whole time, but we'll see.
So,
there's a couple other girls, we just haven't really met them yet. There's like Akila, and then Mari, and the boy that was on the plane, his name is Travis. So I mean, like, there's like a handful of other people, we just haven't really met them very much, but I'm sure that we will going forward. Either they're dead or we'll continue with them going forward, so we'll see.
So I'm kind of excited to see just how this falls apart. And man, the Canadian Rockies, woof,
that's tough, because they're on their way from like, I think, New England to Seattle, so it's like a cross-country flight, and Lottie's dad has paid for this private jet to take them too. So I think there might be some conspiracy stuff happening as well. We'll have to see. And fave of the show, Karen Kusama, directed this episode, so that's also very exciting.
Jennifer's Body.
She directed Jennifer's Body.
So, okay, we're gonna watch the next one.